Good morning. I'm going to try to do a little bit of stitching on this little long lost little object here that I set aside too many years ago. I'm going to see if I can't try to do some of the stitching. So I hope you'll join me for just a few minutes. We'll see if I can thread this without too much trouble. It's a small-eyed needle, so it might be a little hard. See if I cut that off a little bit, it'll help. Sorry, just be patient with me. Maybe I'll get it. I can see the eye of the needle. It's not the seeing it, it's just getting the thread through the small eye. Let's see if I got it. I think I got it. Yay! I did get it. So I think I will lower the camera down just a little bit. See, I have a little bit of quilting that I didn't finish. I don't know if I can match my stitches because I'm just not as adept as I was back in those days. My stitches were really small, not perfectly straight, but they were really small. And I don't believe that the needle I'm using is an actual quilting needle. Something got on the thread there. There we go. Okay, one more stitch and I think I gotta end this one. I don't know exactly why I never finished this. Okay, I'm going to hide that thread. See if I can make it pop. I don't know. Ah, it did. Yay. All right, I'm going to cut that one off. And then I have another one to try to get on there. that one went in easier. Okay, do a couple of little stitches, the little quilting stitches I was doing, try to end that. See if that's going to match it on the back side. So, not too bad. Oops. Now I have to rethread. Darn it. Okay. And let's see. Is that close enough? Maybe one more. Okay, now I have to tie this one off and hide this. This is probably not what I had fully intended doing when I originally made it, but it's what I'm doing now, just so I can finish it. All right, those two are done. I had a lot of pins in this, and when I was taking them out, they were just a little bit rusty. I'm going to get some pins and pin this over. I don't know what I was doing here, but it doesn't look quite right, but I'm going to make it work. It looks like I had done a line of stitching to hold it together, and was going to lap this over. And when I made this, I lined it with flannel. I just noticed it's not a batting. Excuse me. Let's see if I can go on this side and show you. This was just a piece of flannel that I lined it with. Got a tickle in my throat this morning. Not sure I have these thread ends here, but I'm going to tie them and then try to bury them. If I can get them separated. There we go. This may not be completely perfect and the way it should have been done. I think I have part of the pattern left. I do not know that I have the whole pattern left. Okay, need to tuck that under. I'm thinking if I see that there are places that I don't have it quilted all the way across, I may be able to fix that. It's hard when you go back to a project that's as old as this one. This one had the little Dutch girl on the back. I have another one. I'll be right back. I don't know if you've seen these in the window, but I've had this one hanging. This one is completed. This is one that I finished for my older daughter, and she may have worn it once. She wasn't really, a lot of the people back in the early 80s, late 90s, early 80s, made items like this. It was just some things that I saw on, I used to watch Georgia Bonesteel's lap quilting and Sandra Batsina and a bunch of different quilting shows on PBS on our local channel years ago. And so some of the ideas were things that I saw, especially on Georgia Bonesteel's channel. I've got to find my quilting thread and a piece. I think what I'll do is I'll get this stitched under first. Anyway, I hope you're finding a project to work on today, whether it be a new project or an old unfinished object like this. I have at least one other old unfinished object, but I want to do this one first, and then I'll try tackling the other one. This thread now is not cooperating with me. I could get a long-eyed embroidery needle, I guess, to finish this. Like I said, I can I can see the hole. It's just the hole is so small to get the thread to go through is the issue. Okay, so I'm going to try to stitch down this little part under the arm. I'm going to just do some slip stitches. I'm using the thread so far that's already in the project. Hand stitching for me is a little bit hard right now, but I'm getting it done. This is not exactly the way the pattern said to do it, but like I said, I'm going to somehow make it work. Whoops, I unthreaded my needle again. Boy, you're going to get tired of watching me thread my needle. I do know that there is a right side to threading your needle, and that makes it easier. The needle eye is more curved in on one side, and if you go in on that side, I have found that it does make it somewhat easier. Now let's see if I can pull my needle through without unthreading my needle this time. I'm still doing crocheting. It's just I want to work on this project and get it finished. Oops, don't unthread. Okay. Now I'm going to go back because this is at the joining seam at the underarm, and I want to make sure it's secure. So I'm going to kind of go back a little bit before I finish this side off. Back when I started working on these, my mother was still alive and living with us, and she would sit and watch me sew. She had arthritis really bad, so she couldn't sew with me. But she used to sit and watch me sew. And that was always a good time. I had, during this same time period that I was making these, I had made her a round pillow, and it had the Dutch girl on that also on one side, and then the Dresden plate. And I still have that pillow. It's very stained up, so I probably won't ever show that on here, but it has a minor spot in it where the I had trimmed it in some lace, and so I need to hand stitch that lace on there. The stains on it, they kind of make it look like it's tea stained, but then some of them are really dark. And I have tried to wash it and get it out, and it won't come out. I'm just going to tie that one right there and end it, and hopefully that works. Now, I think what I need to do, I'm going to put that needle up at the top of my tomato. Back in the day when I was working on these little projects like this, I used to take my kids for a walk, and we would go down to the town part where they used to have little events going on, and then they would have little harvest festivals and different little things like that. It was just, that was a fun time in life for me. I miss that little community. Okay, I need to find me some white thread. And I have some real close. I'll be right back. Okay, I found some. I try to use up some threads that are, you don't get it all off the spool or off the bobbin, and let's see. I do have a needle threader someplace over here. I just didn't look for it this morning. It's so funny, you can get the needle threader thing through the eyes of these needles a lot easier than the thread. It's because the thread gives. Okay, hopefully I cut off enough. I want to go up that one side seam. Go under here so I can hide my thread. hope you're having a good day where you're at. Looks like it's going to be a little cloudy here today. I need to take a quick run to town, and after a while, if I'm up to it, been fighting a headache the past couple of days. Should have went to town yesterday, but I just was not up to it. I hope you can hear me okay. I just have the microphone on my cell phone. I'm recording from my cell phone. And I don't have any fancy cameras or anything. So I know sometimes my voice comes across soft. So if that's the case, please turn your volume up a little bit. I'm trying to attack that one side and in there. And then I'm going to grab the other side, maybe. There we go. Get it there. This is definitely not going to be perfect. And it definitely would not win a contest. Because someone from the quilting police or the sewing police would definitely nitpick it apart. I need to grab that little end. There we go. Okay, got that almost tight enough. Now I can start slip stitching up the side. When my oldest daughter was little, I used to make almost all of her clothes. I made several things for our younger daughter, but not quite as much as I did for the oldest daughter. I made a lot of their school clothes. A lot of my oldest daughter's pictures when she was a toddler, a lot of her outfits in those pictures are items that I made. I had a small baby shower for her that the wife of a co-worker of my husband's gave me. And so she got a lot of baby outfits from that. I made her when my husband bought me my first sewing machine after we got married, I made her a little baby blanket and a matching coat. And then as she got up bigger, I made her little outfits. That was back when fabric was fairly cheap. Of course, I guess compared to today's prices, it's probably comparable if you buy things on sale. And I always bought things on sale. I've always been on the frugal side when it comes to purchasing yarn or fabric or anything. I don't buy anything if it's not on a pretty good sale. So anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm trying to turn that under where I had the little line of stitching. I'm trying to turn it under so I can't see the line of stitching. And I'm just trying to slip stitch. I go in on the bottom piece, take a little stitch, and then I come across and take just a little bit larger stitch on this other side. And I know you can't see that. It's like I said in my last crochet video, I don't have a way to really do an overhead. I have a tall tripod, but that I've got my camera sitting on, but I'm not sure how I would make that work. All of this video stuff is, I'm just learning it. I started, I believe back in March was my first video this year. Anyway, on my crocheting, I didn't like the way my scarf was turning out. It was, I had made it a little bit too wide. So I ripped it all out and I've restarted that. So when I do an update on that scarf I was making, I'll have to show you that I made a more narrow one. I put it around my neck and it was too bulky. So it's my project. Not following anybody's tutorial on it or anything, so I can kind of do what I want to with it. Still been putting a few stitches in those socks that I was, well, the one sock that I was working on. I haven't put a ton of stitches in there, but anyway, it's like I said when I had my little intro video that I made to a description of my channel. I like to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I will share with you from time to time what I'm doing. But I think this video today is probably long enough. It looks like we've gone a little over a half an hour, which is pretty long for me for one video. Anyway, I will work on this some more as the days go by, and hopefully get some progress to show you what I've gotten done. I hope you will click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm getting close to 100 subscribers. Like I said, I'm fairly new at all of this stuff. I just started this past March. Just trying to, my goal isn't really to make money with my channel. It's to share things that I like to do as far as sewing and quilting and crocheting and a little embroidery. So I hope you will follow along with me. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will try to answer the best I can. So far I've responded, I believe, to every comment that has been made. Nobody's really asked me any questions. I believe most people who have subscribed to my channel are fairly well seasoned seamstresses, either quilters or crocheters or whatever their craft may be. But if you do have any questions, I'll try to answer. I've been doing some of this. I'm nowhere near a professional, but I have been sewing for many years, and I have been crocheting longer than I've been sewing. And that one didn't quite get in there good enough. I may have to take out some stitches. I've heard some terms called unpicking. It's to me, that's an incorrect term because I don't know what you pick to begin with. I'm just using the end of my needle here to take these stitches out, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I didn't use a good enough seam allowance there. The tool you use is a seam ripper. So you stitched your seam in, so you're going to rip your seam out. That's my old-fashioned thought, I think. But anyway, if you want to use the term, you're going to unpick it. That's fine. It's just not a word that you're going to hear me use. As far as I know, you're not. But anyway, I think this video is long enough for today. I hope you'll join me again. Have a beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Enjoy all your projects that you're making. Bye for now.